Just getting it together. Hang on a second. Okay. I think I'm here now. Let me just see. Yes, I'm here now. Okay. There's a funny thing going on lately with Facebook. It seems to take me two start overs to be able to get everything going. When I first go in and click on my live, it's frozen. So anyways, I'm here now. Hi Kimmy. I'm Casey Christensen, and I'm coming to you live from West Kelowna, BC, wine country. No, I'm not having any wine today. I'm saving myself for tomorrow. It's Friday today. Well, I might have some later, but I'm not having any right now. So today I thought we could play with, let me get my mouse out of the way somewhere where it won't do anything. There we go. Oh, wait, it's still doing something. Oh, brother. Okay, there we go. So today I thought we would play with this set called Sending Smiles. I love this set. I love the sentiments. It's got great sentiments. It's got one of those two-part stamps, which I'm a big fan of, because they just sort of add some dimension and some depth to our card. And the dies are gorgeous. Look at this, and I'll show you what I mean by a two-part die. We're going to use the sending, which is the sending is the lettering, and then the shadowing behind it. We've also got some great label dies here for our small sentiments that are on the stamp set. I love those. Haven't tried everything yet, but I thought I would work on a little bit of it today and see what we come up with. So let's build our card base first. That's kind of the way I roll. I like to know where I'm going. We're going to use some of the new in colors. So I've got some brightly colored stamps here. Stamp pads here, Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis. It is on your wish list. It's a good one, Kim. It's a really good one. It's very versatile. Lots of things you can do with it. And as I was saying before, when I was making these boards showing the dies that I have, this is a die set that you're going to use for many other things as well as just this set. You know, there's other things that you'll do with it. So so we're going to start with my card base. So let's get this out of my way. Okay, and my card base is going to be the basic white thick. We always want to use the thick for a card base because it really supports your card. If you use the thin, it becomes a little wimpy. Hi Karen, nice to see you. So we're just going to use the plain white, basic white cardstock, the thick, and we're going to use these deckled rectangles. I love these. I can't even tell you. I love these so much. So we're going to use those because we're going to use rectangles, but these are going to give our rectangles a little life. And so these are all the ones that you get in the package. And I'm using the biggest one, the next one down, and the next one down from that. Okay? So you got lots there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these dies. And they're just beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. So this is going to require my big cutter. So let's get that. And I'm going to use my magnetic plate because then I don't have to use my washing tape. Now this magnetic plate is new. It's very thick, it's very durable, it's the bomb. I absolutely love it. So it enables, I use a lot of washi tape, so this enables me to do all kinds of things without using washi tape, which makes me kind of happy. Not that I hate using washi tape, it's just why use it if you don't, wouldn't it be nice if we didn't need to use it? So I'm going to start with my largest one, and I'm going to start with my Orchid Oasis paper. And again, we're going to tip this over a little bit. We don't want to push this to the machine head on. And as I mentioned yesterday, the instruction for the magnetic plate are the instructions are incorrect. So you're going to use your biggest plate that came with your machine, your brand new magnetic plate, and then you're going to use one of the clear plates on top, and that's all. Okay, if you follow the instructions, it's going to be way too tight and you're not going to be able to do it. So let's pop that down there. I got too many things in the way here to wind my handle, which is the norm. And we're going to do this 3 times because we're going to do our 3 layers. So there's my first one, and look at that. It's just, I don't know, it's just a lot more interesting than just cutting a rectangle, right? So there's our first piece. Let's set that aside. And we can set our die aside. Our next piece is going to be from Tahitian Tide. And it is a somewhat self-healing board, but you know, it's, oh, that's not the right size. It does heal to a certain extent, but you know, it is going to get marked up like crazy, just so you know. But you see, what I love about this magnetic thing is you just pop it on, and there it goes, and there it stays, okay? You'll notice that even more so when I start working with the smaller dies today, because we are going to work with some flowers and some stems and some leaves. It is a big monster, but it's, you know, it's one of those things. It's not a consumable. You're going to keep using it and using it forever and ever and ever and ever. So once you've bought it, you've bought it. It's like buying your quilting tools, right? See that? Look how cool that's going to look on there, right? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm also so excited because tomorrow I'm going on a 1-day retreat. As it happens, which is pretty cool for me since I do a lot of forgetting of things. As it happens, it's like 5 minutes from my house. It starts at 9. I'm leaving at 5 to 9. And it's a 1-day thing in a church. And do you remember they used to do, oh yeah, such an investment. Do you remember they used to do quilt till you wilt? Well, this is kind of like cards till you're gonna wilt. So it's from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. They provide lunch and dinner. There's going to be make and takes. There's going to be games, door prizes, games where you can win things. And it's just for the day. And it is held by a Stampin' Up demonstrator that I met here. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's just going to be fun, a whole day of playing with things. And it just so happens that I'm enrolled in a swap. It's a crop. What's a crop? Oh, what's a crop? What's a crop? Now I gotta know. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. I'm going with a plan. I'm going with a plan to work on my swap. I have 20 cards to create for a swap, so I'm going with the plan to work on that so that I'm not taking a whole bunch of stuff that I don't really need. I'm just going to take what I need to do that job, and I'm using the Forest Friends for my swap. So I think that's going to be a really pleasant day to sit and work on that. Plus there's all kinds of, like, she brings all of her stuff too, so you can try. I'll be able to try some things that maybe I haven't purchased yet and see what I think of them. I'm going to put this first layer down. Now I find it difficult to see with white card base, so there's my first layer. Sorry about my hair. There's my first layer, and I'm just putting all my layers down except my last layer. I'm just going to put these 2 down, just using the tape. How amazing is that? I just love it. I really, really do. I really, really love it. I think I got it on there a little bit crooked, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat, okay? Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. It'll just be a secret with us. But I'm going to cheat because it'll bother me otherwise. I'm going to take my card here and I'm going to cut a sliver off the bottom, and nobody's going to know, right? Nobody will ever know that my card is a sliver shorter than my card ought to be, but it will bother me less if there's a more even keel between these two and here. So there we go. I cheat. Yes, there's 20 people in the swap, so that means I have to make 19 cards. And you're supposed to make 19 identical cards, but I don't really do that, and I don't think anybody cares if you do. As long as you get a beautiful card in the mail, who cares if the next person on the list got the exact same card? So I make 19 cards and I put them in the mail, and in return, I receive 19 cards. So it's pretty exciting. I think it's pretty exciting. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. This is going to get, well, let's do this now since we're here. I'm going to use this last layer. I'm going to use the painted texture embossing folder. I haven't gotten any new embossing folders yet. There's a couple that I'm interested in. There's one that's clouds. I'm quite interested in that one. But I haven't gotten any yet because there's only so many dollars I can throw at this. You know what I mean? So, let's see. I got my other bits ready, and then oh, there it is. I'm just gonna give this an emboss real quick like a bunny. Okay, and that's going to be my next layer. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so great, right? I like that. Okay, and I wanted the card to be kind of bright and colorful, and that's kind of what I was aiming for. So let's get some stamps. Let's put the dies where they belong, just because I'm really, really, really trying to work tidier. I don't know if you saw the mess I left at the end of my live yesterday, but oh my goodness, I have to work on me. I really do. So give me a minute to put these away too, just because that way I'm not, and I haven't drawn around these yet. As you know, you'll see on my dies, I always draw around things. Because the most important part of drawing around it is when one's missing, you'll know it, right? If I'm looking at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw an 8 in the corner. If I'm looking at this, I don't know if I'm missing the last one, do I? Because I haven't drawn around them. And that is why I draw around all my dies, because otherwise I have no idea that I'm missing something. Okay, so let's get out our stamps and have a look at this. So, this is a photopolymer stamp set. I managed to kick that word out today. Awesome. And it comes in many components. You've got your flowers, you've got your centers of your flowers, you've got these cute little things. I don't know what they are, but I think they should be purple. And you've got your stems and lots, smiles across the miles, all the good luck your way. Sunshine to brighten your day, love and big hugs, birthday wishes, a note of thanks, a card to say hello, comfort and strength, all that sit underneath the sending sentiment there. So you can really do some wonderful things. So I have not taken these off of here yet. When you get your stamp sets, you want to something about wishes right there. You want to take them off these sheets and put them onto here. This is the whole idea behind these new stamp cases, that your stamps can all fit on here nicely, and they stick on there really, really good. This you can throw away, but the piece that you took it off, this is window sheet, so keep it, because there are cards coming up. I've got a few in my Pinterest arsenal here that I plan on doing demonstrations for. There's a few things coming up that are going to use window pane. So it's been given to you in here free. Why not use it, right? So let's just hang on to that little sheet of window sheet, and you'll have it ready for when I decide to do any number of the cards that I've got in my saved up pile of things to do. So today we're going to do some flowers. So I know I want to have this guy right here. I'm going to have that guy. Let me get a block to put these on so that I don't lose them. See, look at me trying to work tidier. Look at me. Okay, so there's one flower that I want. And then I want this cute little guy here. And I think I'm going to do that one flower twice. And let's do a couple of stems. Just getting things ready. You have to be a little bit careful pulling these off. If you're really, really crazy with them, you're going to end up tearing them. And then we need some flower centers. So we need the big one and we need the tiny one. And then this looks like it's supposed to be, what's this one here? Oh, I see. This is for if you use, well, let's get that flower out anyways. Let's have a look at it. Even if we don't use it, we'll stamp it. See what it looks like, right? Okay. We've only left a couple of things here. One of them is just a cute little area stamp, I call them, where you could make your own DSP. If your cardstock behind was too stark, then you could do little stamping around it. See, so I'm going to save this window pane, and I'll be using that. So let's get a piece of, oh, I did already. Let's get this piece of paper out, and we're going to make some flowers. Let's make some flowers. So let's start with making some. Okay, a little bit dangerous to take that down at the moment, but hang on. I have this artistry of balance going on in here to keep everything where it needs to be in my workspace, and as soon as I have to use any of the articles that are creating the balance, I'm screwed. No, I have not ripped one, but I know people who have. I mean, really, it's common sense. They're little pliable rubber things. You want to be a little bit gentle with them. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to use this giant one here to stamp this, because it's a pretty big, let me take these off again, because I need to use it. That's a pretty big set of stems here that we're using. Now, we're going to use bright colors today, just because it's, I don't know, it's feeling like a bright color day. It's in colors. We're going to use, it's like Jenga, absolutely, but there's no prize. There's no prize. When we play Jenga, there's a prize, but there's no prize here today. Let's see if I can get them both on. Let's do that. Let's do a 2-for-1er here, since we're already here. There you go. So I've got my stems here. I'm going to use my Parakeet Party, one of the new in colors. It's absolutely a gorgeous color. Look at it. It's very, I don't know, it's very pleasing to me. It's very bright. It is very bright, but it's a very pleasing color. So let's do this first. I'm going to give that a little press down as best as I can. There we go. Look at those. Those are pretty. All right, so let's clean this off. I think I only need the 2. It's almost time for a new chamois. I've had the same chamois since I started doing Stampin' Up, so it might be time to invest in a new one. What the heck? All right, so maybe I can leave that on there. Let's see what we're going to do next. We're going to do, we'll do a couple of blue flowers. How about that? And we're going to use the Orchid Oasis. The DSP we used on here is Starry Sky, but I feel it's a little bit dark for flowers. So we're going to use we're going to do one of these. So we need to leave a little room on here. We're doing 2 at a time, but we do need to leave just a little. I do love the new in colors. You know what? When I first saw the in colors, I only ordered the 2 blues and the turquoise, because I sort of thought, I don't know, Those are so bright, and I don't really do a lot of, well, guess what? First time I saw a card with all of them, I was like smacking myself going, what were you thinking? And I couldn't order the other colors fast enough. They're just gorgeous. Especially the sorbet, sweet sorbet. That is the most beautiful color of red. It's absolutely a gorgeous color. So let's have a couple of flowers here. Give that a good push. Oh my goodness, are they yummy or what? So we'll do a couple of those, and then we're going to do, I think we're going to do a red flower. Let's do you know what, it doesn't matter how many of these flowers I make. They're not going to waste. They're going to go in my Dexter dish, and I'm gonna use them. So let's just make some. And what the heck, while we're at it, let's see if we can fit this little guy on here too, and still leave room for a die. I think we can. I think we can do this. All right, so I'm going to do all three. You'll notice I didn't even clean my stamp, but it's okay. It's okay. I was a little concerned about whether I'd need the Stamparatus for these, but they are giving me a really good stamp. And do you notice what happened there? As soon as I said, guess what, I didn't clean my stamp, I got a different color of red. So I want to do that one again, just to see if it matters to me. Just to see if it matters to me. It might not matter to me at all, but I just want to see. Now, is there enough room and still have a die cut? I think there is. So we're going to do that again with my stamp cleaned off. Yeah, if you're going to buy the stamp pads, make sure you get them in the bundle, not one at a time. I think that you save a little money. That's what I did anyways. It's not quite as obvious in the catalog, but if you need my help, I'll help you find it. And there is a number you can use to order all of them at the same time. It's just, yeah, okay. I should have cleaned off my stamp last time. I like those better. Oh, what happened there? I've got a glitch. Can you see it? Bummer. Okay. I think I saw that on my stamp pad. I think I saw a tiny bit of something on my stamp pad. I'm going to stamp that again. I've got a little, there, I can see it. A little piece of paper was on my stamp. So it left me with a little glitch in one of my flowers. So I'm going to do them again. Better. Much better. Now don't be alarmed if your stamps end up forever pink. That's going to happen. That's just going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. The reds, the oranges, and the blues discolor your stamps. It's okay. It has no effect on the working of them, and it just doesn't really matter. All right, so I want to look at my dies for a second because I'm pretty darn sure that we're going to stamp our centers now. Oh, that's not the right dies. That's not the right dies. I'm really having to work hard to focus on what to take tomorrow. It's really easy to take too much, but you got to keep in mind it's one day, right? It's one day. And I've had days with my friend Susan where we've spent like 6 hours on on FaceTime doing cards together and ended up with 2 cards. So, you know, how much do you really think you're going to get done? I'd be thrilled if I got half of my swap cards done. Okay, so yes, we are. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use yellow for my flower centers. Yeah? What do you think? I think yellow is probably a good idea. Fairly safe. I think of the blue ones as cornflowers. I don't know what color the centers of cornflowers are. Anybody? I do too. I'm going to use them all. I'm going to do some embossing today too, so that'll be fun. Do a little bit of everything. Why not, right? So this little guy, I'm going to do him in a, I don't know, I feel like I want to do him in a, like maybe a stamped off pumpkin pie. I don't know, yellow just doesn't seem to be doing it for me. For that one, let's just try it. Let's try it. We won't know until we try it. And that's going to be this one here. So let's stamp it off. Oh, not even stamped off. I think it'll be good full. Even though my stamp's doing funny things. No, not going to work. I think yellow's going to be the best color. I do. Maybe a goldier yellow though. I want something that's at least going to show. Yeah, I think they are, but I just don't know what color this center is going to be. But you know what? This is what color it's going to be. It's going to be that color, okay? That's what color it's going to be. So we got a big one and we got a tiny one. So let's do our big one. I'm not 100% sure what we're using, so we're just going to do a bunch, okay? We're not going to do those red ones. We're going to use these red ones. But we'll do a blue one because we need to have a blue flower, I think. Yes! I like these. Let's see if I can... This guy's so tiny. Aw, how cute is that, right? Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so then let's get our dies out. Now let's see what all we can cut at one time, because that's the other beauty of the magnetic, is we can cut everything all at one time. So I'm going to get this one here. Whoops, right side up helps. And I got another one here. Yep. And I got a blue one over here. Whoops, I keep doing them. I keep putting them on wrong side up and then wondering why they don't fit. And another one. We'll just do the one blue one, I think. You got one here, and you got one here. How's that? How's that? You can cut all our flowers out kind of at one time. All right, let's get the magnetic plate. It's heavy. This magnetic plate, it's heavy. How about we do this? How about we do this? Since I'm not going to use these ones right now, how about we do this, and then we can do them all on the one roll, which is always nice. And just set those up there as well as you can. We'll get this big one here. Nice, hey? Big one there. This funky one here. And this one as soon as I can figure out how it goes. This is one of those tricky bits. Okay, I gotta turn it around. It's one of those tricky ones. It's not quite obvious which way it goes, except that gosh. Well, I'm gonna say it goes like that. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so let's gingerly take this over to our platform. and get myself a clear plate. Okay, let's just hope I lined those all up nicely. I think I did. Yeah, I kind of go with the well as you can rule too, Kim, to be honest. Otherwise, I'll make myself nuts. And that's just too short of a drive. So why would I? Why would I? Look at that. How pretty are these, right? This is a great set. This is a must-have. This is a fun, fun set. Yeah, see, that one didn't work out well for me. I got to work on that one. That one didn't work out well, so we're not going to use it. We'll use another one of these instead because it did work out well. I don't know what it is about that one. It just doesn't seem to want to line up. That'll take a little work. So let's give us another one of these ones because we know this one lines up and we like it. It's purty. It's very purty. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these. I'll tell you though, it is one of the ones that when I first saw it when I first got my catalog PDF format, right? We got it, all of the demos got in PDF at first. And when I first got it, I was like, it's okay, I guess. I guess it's okay. But now I know, I love it. I'm going to use it to death. It's one of those ones, right? Every once in a while, there's one of those ones that you're just going to use and use and use. Okay, so while we're cutting things, let's get I want a piece of paper that has you know how I like to put the stickum on the back? So that I can peel it off and stick things on. I use this whole piece of white cardstock here has an adhesive backed sticky sheet. So I can cut things out and then peel and stick them. So when you're looking at this little sending, when you see this cut out, you're going to see that if I had to cut this out, it would be a little tedious. Or if I had not cut it out, if I had to glue it down, it would be a little tedious to glue down because it's quite fine. You'll see when I cut it. So I'm just getting that ready. As you know, I like to get all my stuff ready and then build my card from there. So I got 2 packages of that Forest Friends paper. So I know I have tons and can't run out, but I haven't quite cleared in my mind yet what I'm doing for my swap card. So, all right, so here it is, my little sending piece. Now, try not to lose the I, the dotted I, okay? Try not to lose that. It's not easy. Wait a second. Do I want to do that, or do I want to do... Yeah, I'm changing my mind because it's my prerogative. That's what I do. I'm changing my mind. I want the background to be white. So I'm going to recut a background piece like that. And I want my wording to be blue. But that won't go to waste. That little sending, that'll go in the Dexter dish. And it'll be already pre-stuck and ready for me. Yeah, so this is what I want. I want my background sending. And I may or may not use the stickum. I might not need to use the stickum, so I'm not going to peel it off yet. So I haven't quite decided. See how cute that is? So that'll just get put aside. I'll use it for something else. But I sort of, it's not really where I wanted to go with this. So let's get a piece of, while we're getting bits ready, I can put that away. So I've got my one bit. And now I want a little bit of my paper. want a little piece of my Starry Night paper, and I want a little piece of my, hi Eileen, oh how nice, nice to see you, very nice to see you. It's like old Castle's home right now. I got all the Castle girls in here. That's very cool. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of this. This is the adhesive sheet. Now when I'm working with the white sheets, I usually do a whole sheet at a time, but I don't know how much blue I'm going to want, so I'm just going to use a piece and create a, some people feel this paper has a right and a wrong side. I'm not going to argue with that. I have a feeling it kind of, sort of, maybe almost does. There we go. So I got that so that now I can make one of those sending dies in blue and have it easily stick onto its white background, okay? Just got to pick out the bits here. When you're picking out your bit, try and hang on to your eye. There's an eye. There's a little, it's so small. It's like crazy small. I'm thinking of not even using it. I think I might just use the tiniest size of pearl instead of that teeny tiny eye, because it's like crazy silly small. But let's clean this out so I can do this. I'm sure you guys have crossed paths. All three of you have crossed paths at some point over at Castles. I'm pretty sure of it. You have to have. All right, so let's do this. We're going to do our sending in blue. So again, my magnetic sheet, and drop it down there. And just wind that through the big guy. I didn't have to use the big guy for all of this. A lot of these dies are user friendly with the mini embossing machine, but I kind of needed to use the big one for half of it, so I figured I'd just use it for the whole thing, right? There we go. There's my sending. In blue. Okay? So tuck that away so that it's got the stickum on it. So tuck that away where you know you're going to run across it again and be able to use that. So I've got my sending. Oh, it's so cute. And let's see if I can save my dot. I'll save it onto here. Okay, somebody remind me when I'm looking for it. See this? That's the dot to my eye. That's the dot to my eye sitting right there. So hopefully I'm going to remember it's there. So I've got my sending, and I've got my little sending that's going to go over top of my sending. Oh, I'm so excited. This is such a great set. Yeah, you got to get the magnetic plate. I really hope they come out with the little one soon. It's in the catalog, but for whatever reason, you can't order it. All right, last but not least, we need a sentiment. So I thought what we would do is, in keeping with the colors that we're keeping, I'm going to get a little piece of this Tahitian Tide. Let's just whack a piece off here because we don't need much. Little piece of Tahitian Tide. And I'm going to use the stamp so we're going to do a little embossing just for fun, right? A little embossing just for a hoot. Now let's get something that will fit into this because this is such a nice shape of label dies. So let's choose one of the ones that will fit neatly in there, which will save me a little time from having to adjust the size like I normally like to do. But I really want to, let's see. That one fits really well. Comfort and strength. I don't know how often I would send that to somebody. Comfort and strength. How about a note to say thanks would be nice? That fits nice in there. What's this one? This one's too long and I don't want to use the bigger label. I don't want to use the bigger one because it won't. Smiles across the miles. No, that's a little too long. So we're going to say just a card to say hello. Because I got a birthday coming up. My friend Maggie is having a birthday. So let's get our smallest of the label. Blocks. Now we're going to stamp this in Versamark. Now what's the first thing we got to do before we do Versamark? We have to use our embossing buddy on our paper so that we don't get any embossing powder stuck where it doesn't belong. Now Stampin' Up! Isn't carrying these anymore, and it just blows my mind because they're carrying the embossing supplies. Why aren't they carrying the embossing body? So there's probably a story there. I don't know it, but there probably is one. And so you can always get it, you know, elsewhere because you really do need to have it. So I'm just going to stamp this on my, and I'm going to stamp it up off the edge so I have room to put my die around it as soon as I can figure out what's right side up. And this is just Versamark. And I'm going to stamp that down there, a card to say hello. Please tell me I left enough room for my die. I did. All right, so now we're going to emboss this. So we're going to start off, you always have to use Versamark. Well, there are other pigment inks, but I'm using Versamark today as my embossing adhesion. I'm just going to pour some powder on there. Don't worry about how much you pour on because you're going to get it back, most of it you're going to get it back. Let's just pick that up, give it a little shake, a little bit of a yep. And then what I like to do is I just sort of take it and flick it with my finger, try and get the excess off. Just give it a little like this. Like that. And I'm gonna give it a bit more. Feels a little sparse in a couple of areas there, so just gonna give it a little bit more, and then do it again. Get rid of all that excess. All right. Now we can put our powder back. Don't sneeze. Nobody sneeze. There we go. Put the lid on. Probably nobody knows that one day there was a whole container of embossing powder on the floor at Castle Sewing in the classroom. Yep, there was. I didn't put the lid on and then I knocked it off. Oh well. Oh well. Yep, flick. Like this, you know, like flicking an annoying thing. Flicking a bug. All right, so now just going to pop this on here because I can't hold it because it's too small and it's not even going to stay there. And pardon the noise, I got to use my embossing tool. So see how it's all kind of, it's good, it's good, it's good. And this just helps it become amazing. Okay, so that's cute. And all embossing powder is like minute particles of plastic, so that when you melt it, it all blends together and it becomes a shiny kind of a situation. You've probably seen it before. Don't know that you can see it on here, but it becomes a shiny sort of a three-dimensional plasticky thing. Okay, does that look good? I think it looks good. Careful, careful. Okay, that is going to be so cute. Yes, it is. Okay, so we have our components. So let's start putting this together. All right, let's get back to our card. We used the brand new deckled embossing folders here for our card. So now we're going to just build up our little thing here. Now I am going to use dimensionals because I'm all about dimensionals. I love them, and I am going to use them. And I was saying before, if you have a card with a lot of dimensionals on it and you go to put it in the mail, if you go to the post office, they're going to tell you it's going to cost you more than a standard stamp because of the thickness to mail it. But I don't even ask. I just pop it in the mail, and I've never, ever had one come back. Ever. And they always get where they're going. This is very exciting. I think they should make mini dimensionals. That's what I think they should do. So let's pop that right about there. Just getting an idea of what that's going to look like. And then another one. Whoops. These things get harder and harder for me to pick up. Oh, my nails are coming off, so I've got nothing to get in there with. Okay. And just put the dimensionals wherever you can. If you want to, you can get fussy and cut the dimensionals in half, but I didn't really want to take the time to do that today, so I'm just going to do this. And then we're going to get a blossom up here. And I will stick 2 on there. You want to be sure that it's going to be strong enough. Or maybe I won't stick 2 up there. Will I stick 2 up? Yeah, I will. You want to make sure. No, I won't. Because guess what? We have to keep in mind that this is a separate piece of paper from the other. So it has to sit on the paper without ending up on either of the other 2 pieces of paper there. So you just want one, and I think you just want it. Let me get that off. You just want one, and I think you want it pretty much in the middle on that one to be able to get it to sit where you want it to and not have dimensional overlappage. There we go. See that? And then let's do, I feel like this guy needs to be, well, no, he's good. I think he's good. I think he's good. So we're going to do another one here. That's a good one. I love that saying, actually. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. I have a girlfriend that does that. I don't actually have to ask for either. I make my own money, so I do whatever I like, right? And now I think I want to use this guy, this funky guy that we made. Yes, I do, for my 3rd flower. And you could do more flowers if you want, but I always feel like a flower looks funny when it's not coming off of the stem, right? Like so. Okay, let's see where else we're going with this, and I'm not gonna peel off the sticky that's on the back of here because I want to dimensionalize it. So what we'll do is we'll pick off the sticky that's here, and didn't I put something on top of my eye? Oh yes, I got it. I still got it. It's a miracle. I've still got my eye. So with this, you just got to get your finger under any of it and peel it off. And then it's quite long, so it can be a little persnickety to lay down, but just do your best job. I'm going to start at one end. I think that's, let me get it up here so you can see it. I'm going to start with my S, and I'm going to work my way across like that. Get off of me. Oh, Oh, it stuck to me real good. Look at that. How cool. How cool is that? Okay, where's my little eye? Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm going to have to put, there's no way I'm going to be able to pick the sticky off of that little eye. So I'm going to have to put the tiniest little bit of glue there. And then I'm going to pick it up with my finger. Oh, rats, I dropped it. I dropped it. Boom. I did it. Can you see it? Okay, so let's sort this out. Let's see where this is going to be. So I think we're going to have to put dimensionals under the N, a little bit on the S. Let's see. All right, I'm going to use the little dimensionals, and I'm using the black ones because that's what's in my hand right now. And we're going to want to be careful where we put these dimensionals, okay? Because we don't want them getting on. Okay, so we know we can have one on that inside part of the S. And probably in a couple of other places there. And then the N and the bottom of the G maybe. The N and the bottom of the G, I think we can get away with. Because otherwise we're going to be putting things on top of other things that have already been dimensionalized. And unless you double dimensionalize, which is a pain when you're looking at something like this. Okay, and then we'll use some little guys here. You use the black ones if you were working on a black card, but frankly, they don't really show unless you're looking at the card sideways. You're not going to see them. I mean, they came out for working with dark cardstock and dark DSP, but you know what? I just use them. I've never bought any. These were a gift, and so I'm using them up. But I don't have a tendency to purchase them. I just buy the white ones. I don't really think, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's going to even notice if you're using colored ones or not. So what, jaunty angle as well? I think maybe. Yes. Okay, there we have. And now, let's put some bigger ones on the back, because we want to pop this up a little bit. So I won't be on tomorrow. Well, I mostly take the weekends off anyways, but I definitely won't even pop on just for fun tomorrow like I sometimes do, because I will be busy having a play and meeting new people. Just between you and the fence post, it's not the meeting new people that's my favorite thing. I've spent my entire life being so very public that I'm kind of look at this card. People, look at this card. I am so excited. Yeah, I'm not really into the meeting people portion of things. I'm pretty much a loner. My husband's my best friend. We do everything together, and I'm quite all right not knowing anybody up here really. But it's nice to get out and socialize now and again. Look at this. Is this gorgeous or what? So what do we need? I feel like I have these. But I don't know. Are they a bit much to have a little flower? Like what about these tiny little blue ones? Might be cute. Yeah, I think maybe I'll do the tiniest of the flowers. The embossing folder is called it's called Painted Texture. It's called Painted Texture. I think I'm going to put a couple of the tiniest of flowers. Yeah, that's cute, right? And maybe a little red one up here. And a little yellow one. What do we think? I'm pretty pleased with that card. I love the colors. I absolutely love the colors. I'm trying to talk myself out of thinking that I need to take this set with me too tomorrow because I already have enough to do. Nope, not going to do it. I already have enough to do. Isn't it cute though? So my card is the inside of my card is white, so there's no need for me to put anything. Yeah, that's a good embossing folder. It's kind of an all over, but there's no need to put anything in here because you can write on this because it's just the white thick. Look at that. Do you love this? I love this. I absolutely love this. Awesome possum. Thank you, love. Okay, so that's it for me today. I'm going to go see what my husband is making for dinner. I think it's bacon BLTs. I think we're having BLTs tonight. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I'm going to wash off my stuff, and then I guess I better get packing. Otherwise, I'm not even going to know what I'm going to take. At least if I get it packed, I can forget about it and then just read myself to sleep tonight. And one more sleep and away I go. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be lots of fun. I do. So thank you so much for joining me. You can hunt me down on Facebook and Instagram as well, as I'm sure you know by now. And I will post this card and the video for it shortly, so that if you didn't get to see the whole thing, you can pop in and have a look at it. Thank you so much for joining me. It was nice to see you. Bye for now.